identified Carroll Quigley back in the 60s and allowed into their archives. He wrote a book called Tragedy and Hope. It was for State Department officials to be able to understand, wait, we fund the fascists and the socialists, we fund the communists and the right-wingers. It was to understand the dialectic. It was only meant for State Department, but it got out. And you can read the book. And it was Bill Clinton's mentor who wrote the book, who was a student of Cecil Rhodes. And the plan was take the British imperial model, but corporatize it worldwide. And basically the United States adopted it, established Bilderberg with the CIA at the helm in 1954, with the UK power structure and what was left of the European power structure under the Marshall Act to basically merge it all under a corporate governance structure. And that's what it is. And that's what is now been established. And they're above the law. They don't have to pay the same taxes the public does. They get diplomatic immunity. They get to have trillions of dollars in banker bailouts and taxpayer money, all in a unified, concerted, technocratic, corporate martial law takeover. And it's actually a model developed by Hitler when he was having to lose his grandeur about he was going to take over all of Europe for living space. German. They were going to use corporate governance again, kind of like they did with the Vichy French, putting the front up and controlling it through finance and central banking. And that plan was actually adopted by the CIA in '54 through Bilderberg. So this is actually a Nazi-German plan. That's why Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, originally an SS officer, was the founder. It was actually a Nazi plan for global corporate governance that has now been expanded out.
So if meetings like this are, as you say, they're opaque, they're undemocratic, they're clandestine, they're nefarious, they're even Nazis, what should happen?
Well, I will say this: Bilderberg's brought in a lot of new blood. Google, they brought in Peter Thiel, the head of PayPal and other things, who are more modern and aren't kind of like the old crusty robber barons of the past. And I haven't seen them themselves commit enough open atrocities to be able to say that they're 100% nefarious. So I'm not saying everybody that is attending there is a criminal, but definitely this thing was set up to coordinate the key people from government, industry, and academia and media to carry out a corporate governance plan worldwide that we've now seen the fruits of. And that's why I think there should be investigations at the county, at the regional level, because one of their main agendas is to, quote, look at nationalism. That's their enemy. I see nationalism as firewalls, so that if big tyranny rises up, there's countries to oppose it. I mean, going back to opposing the Soviets, going back to opposing the Nazis, it was countries that were a firewall that could operate against it. But now with EU bureaucracy exempting themselves from taxes and things, you notice how that's the technocratic governance that no matter what you do in the EU Parliament, no matter what you do in the British Parliament, it's still overridden by the larger EU. That the BBC from day one has been there working with the Bilderberg group to push on the public.
And if these meetings continue, then Alex, you'll continue to turn up?
Absolutely. We've had a huge victory. Now worldwide the press is having a met. Okay, it exists. You were conspiracy theory kooks for saying powerful people meet in secret, nothing's going on. New York Times 4 years ago said that I was at a thing and there was no one there. They just said I was completely insane, even though there were helicopters and troops flying all over the place. And then now it's, oh, you're crazy that you care that they're hiding in secret behind a ring of steel. So it just doesn't matter. The dinosaur media is killing itself. We're not destroying the dinosaur media. The dinosaur media is killing itself because it's bought and paid for by these same interests. And of course, that's the perfect Bilderberg model, because they take taxpayers' money locally to pay for this ring of steel, just like the BBC takes taxpayer money to then put out the Bilderberg message. And I think there is some good stuff on the BBC, I want to be clear. I'm just saying generally it's been pretty positive coverage of the Bilderberg, but also some of the only mainstream media coverage, because you guys were given access to it. So who knows, maybe you know what you're doing. But kind of a roundabout way there. The point is, it exists, and the new media is here in mass, and I think that's good. The new media, the citizen journalist media, has forced the power structure and all the king's horses and all the king's men to come here and try to put their New World Order back together again. And it's not going to work. Thank you very much, sir. What's your name? Mark, good to meet you, buddy.
Great.
All right.